today's blog post is actually dedicated to my friend Doc Rock, who recently did a blog post called "What's Your Passion?" He and I were talking about this and soul cuisine, and then he did a video blog post, and so I thought, okay, I better follow up to that "What's Your Passion?" thing, and I know it's meant to be because I'm here at the YMCA tonight with the new head of the YMCA, and he told us a little story about how his job came to be. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So my passion, I would describe as family and community. And I wrote a piece actually many years ago for a book that we had. And what I wrote about is that I'm convinced that if people had more positive challenges, a lot of the problems that we have in society would not exist. So if kids were loved and nurtured and cared for, then as adults they would be well-adjusted and wouldn't commit crimes and so forth. So I just spent the last 7.5 years in family.
Okay.
I had more than 10,000 cases.
10,000?
10,000. And what I saw, the number one theme that I saw in family court was trauma. Either kids that have been traumatized or adults who were traumatized as children, and then it manifests itself in bad behaviors. Right? So child abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, children whose parents are drug addicts, and so forth. So my passion is trying to get a community through healthy families to be well-adjusted. And that's why I take the job as the CEO and President of YMCA, because we are about youth development, we're about health and wellness, and we're about social responsibility. We're the only organization, as far as I know, that offers little 6-month-olds opportunities and 90-year-olds who work out at the New Y and everything in between. So we have 7,000 kids we're touching in A+, 7,000 kids who are going through our A+ program. We have 20,000 members of the Y who are learning about
And exercise.
So that they don't have chronic disease, they can live longer, healthier lives. We've got kids who are talking about how to stay away from drugs, how to stay away from drugs. So I think the Y fits totally within the family and community. That's part of life.
Yeah.
So there's a direct connection between what I saw in family court and why I wanted this job. Because the Y focuses on the front end, much more on the prevention side. And what I experienced in family court was on the back end, that it was too late for many of the people who cared for me. I couldn't help them the way I wanted to help them. Whereas the CEO and President of the Y, I can be entrepreneurial and creative about ways to help those people.
Okay. Now remember, you were telling us a story about how sometimes you'd be in the sentencing, right? And
So what I was sharing with you is that I had almost 2,000 young boys and girls between 13 and 17 appear before me on my juvenile criminal record. And I would ask each of them, what do you care about? What is your passion? What gets you up in the morning? What gets you excited? And the number one answer, by far, was nothing. They would say to me, nothing gets me excited. I have passion about nothing. But think about it. If you or I had had the lives that these children had, if you and I had experienced the trauma that they experienced, our answer would be the same.
This is true.
So what I would do with a lot of those kids is I would send one of those kids to an immersion school or a charter school, and then they would come back to me 6 months later and I'd say, what do you care about? And I couldn't get them to stop talking. If it was a Hawaiian kid, he was now in touch with his culture. He had respect for himself because he had respect for his culture. He learned about his language. He learned about the land. He learned how to grow things in the land. He learned math by navigating a boat with a compass. He learned about chemistry and biology by growing things in the land. And then he became respectful of himself and of his culture. So I saw charter immersion schools transform kids.
That's amazing. There you have it, folks. Make sure you find your passion. Help everybody you know find their passion. And we can build a better community together. And make sure you check out the YMCA in your community too.
See you at the Y.